Hey everyone, this one is by request, and I can't believe I have not done this one already. We are talking about Whitesnake, also known as Whitesnake 1987. This version here is the US version. Based on my experience with the last album, I am glad I decided to take 5 seconds and actually go and look if there was a difference between the US and the European version of the album, because I learned that lesson from Slide It In. And there is. There's actually a significant difference, as there's 2 extra tracks on the European version that are not on here. Okay, so I will not be talking about the songs Looking for Love or You're Gonna Break My Heart. Those 2 songs are not on here. This has only got 9 tracks as opposed to the 11 tracks on the European version. I do not know why the difference. The best I can figure is the European version, because I didn't really see in the notes here. Best I can figure is the European version did a CD release right away. So it was willing to go over the 45-minute safety zone, and the US version, they wanted it to still be vinyl ready, because 87 compact disc was technically out, yes, but no, it was not a thing yet, really. Not widely, not North America was not widely accepted yet. It'd be about another year before it started going mainstream in the US, I believe. Okay, so let's get into the 9 songs that actually are on this album. We got Crying in the Rain, which is a redo of a previous song, so it's referred to as Crying in the Rain 1987. There are 2 songs on here that actually do that, the 1987 redo. And I'm kind of surprised that they did go with 87 redos. I can understand why they didn't get the oomph that Coverdale had been hoping for in previous releases. So Crying in the Rain, decent tune, really enjoy it, really good. It's got great 80s production on it, fantastic 80s production on it. Then we go into Bad Boys, which is a good song to follow up Crying in the Rain. It is. I enjoy it. It goes into a different direction. Great upbeat groove to it. I gotta say, choosing to start Crying in the Rain, using Crying in the Rain to start the album, when it's, I don't want to say a slower song, but, definitely a more of an emotionally drenched song, was quite the impressive choice. Going into Bad Boys after that, great choice. Then you're into Still of the Night. Once upon a time, I really did dig Still of the Night. I don't mind it now, but I'm more likely to skip on it, I think, these days. And I think a lot of that just kind of comes from overplay, which is weird, because then you get to Here I Go Again, and it's like, just crank that up every time, right? Because, Here I Go Again is just a wonderfully fun song. Then we're into Give Me All Your Love, which to me is kind of a little forgettable when the album's not playing. When the album's actually playing, it's a really good, enjoyable tune. Is This Love? Okay, we gotta have that real honest to goodness slow song ballad, and this is it. And as much as I usually rag on ballads, this one's not bad. A lot of it comes down to Coverdale's voice. He has such a beautiful delivery on this album. Then we're into Children of the Night. I gotta say, on the US version of this album, I actually think Children of the Night should have been the closing track. I think it was a mistake to put it in at track 7. Straight for the Heart would have been perfect song to follow up after Is This Love. And that's you go from Is This Love to Children of the Night, which just really, really great tune. Then Straight for the Heart, which is, killer tune. And then Don't Turn Away. And Don't Turn Away is probably, to me, the weakest song on the album. The least memorable song on the album. So I really think they should have switched around Don't Turn Away with Children of the Night. I think Children of the Night should have closed out the album because Children of the Night's got that great closing vibe. So to me, that was definitely an error. Now, as I said, there is a difference between the North American version and the European version. With the European version, it opens up with Still of the Night, which was a great way to open the album. I think that's a fantastic choice. Then you go into Bad Boys. Then you go into Give Me All Your Love. Then Looking for Love. That's, without knowing what Looking for Love, without knowing the song. I think I know which song it is. I just don't have this album version to talk about. That's a little too much lovey. Then you go to Crying in the Rain. It's just like, come on, that's a bad flow right there. And then you're in Is This Love, and it's like, come on, but they go from Is This Love to Straight for the Heart, which, what did I say? That would have worked out fine if they had done it on this one. And then Straight from the Heart, they got Don't Turn Away. Then Children of the Night. Here I Go Again, and then they end with You're Gonna Break My Heart Again. So both of them end with songs that I wouldn't classify as enders, although I can't talk about You're Gonna Break My Heart Again because I really don't know the song to talk about it. I don't have it on here. Had I known that there was, well, actually, okay, I've owned this copy forever. I don't even think this is a remaster. I think this is the original version I bought back in like the early 90s. So I apparently, have to start looking at getting remasters for Whitesnake. That's just gonna have to be a thing, because if I had known there was a remaster out there that had more tracks on it, not just live tracks but actual more tracks because of the difference between the North American and the European version, I would have bought it. Gotta say, I absolutely would have bought it. Now, I don't know if they said there was anything in here about difference with the production or not, because I know that was a thing with Slide It In. The production on this version anyways is fantastic. It's definitely got that glam, that LA glam sound to it, without a doubt. And it's funny because it was recorded partially in LA, but it was also recorded in Vancouver, it was also recorded in Toronto, and I think it's on New York as well. So they just kind of worked on this album kind of everywhere to get the right sound on it. It's not marked on here what the sound quality is, so I don't know if it's AAD or ADD. It's definitely not Triple D. I can tell you that right now. I do have Triple D albums from this time period. This is not a Triple D album. That sounds a whole lot of dirty. All right. That being said, folks, given a choice between this album or Slide It In, I think I'm going to go with Slide It In as the better album. Honestly. I do enjoy this album very much, and it's been in my collection for, 30 years. Definitely 30 years at this point. But I don't know if I'd take it over Slide It In, man. I mean, really, honestly, Slide It In was a really, really good album. That was an eye-opening experience for me. So, if you like Slide It In, you'll obviously like this one. If you like this one, you'll definitely like Slide It In. So we're going to go with that. That being said, folks, I think I'm going to end this one here because I don't really have anything else to add to it. David Coverdale on the vocals, John Sykes on guitars and vocals, Neil Murray on bass, Ainsley Dunbar on drums. The only person on here I really have any real knowledge of is David Coverdale. I don't know too much about Sykes, other than you help write some decent, write some decent tunes. I don't. Anyways, folks, I'm going to leave this one here now. Drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. That's what the comment section is for. On your way down there, you'll see a like button, subscribe button, bell for notifications. You hit those, I'd appreciate it. A couple links worth checking out. Otherwise, folks, peace, love, take care.